What is up, people, places, and penguins? This is The Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. You check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at The Vinyl Casket, one word. We subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much, much more. We are doing an episode about wrestling. If you tuned in early in 2023, I did a lot of wrestling content. Haven't been able to keep up with that. It's a lot of work, but I try to do these prediction videos before big events. And this weekend is WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania ever. And we got to crack open a prime in honor, red, white, and blue, the United States champion, Logan Paul, or he might not be soon. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to get in real fast predictions. Normally, I do this a little bit differently. If you've watched some of my older videos, I usually go with the main card with all the matches and then individual cards for each match and talk about them. I did not have the time to do that, to go through and whatever. There's a lot to talk about. I'm going to quickly talk about NXT Stand and Deliver, which starts in probably like 10 minutes. This is the match card. NXT is the developmental brand of WWE. You could probably watch this on Peacock. I know you can watch WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, Saturday and Sunday on Peacock. So we'll start off the way they laid this out. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. This is a huge match that everyone's been waiting for throughout NXT, being that they were one of the biggest tag teams, plus individual glories for both of them recently. With Carmelo really pushing towards that WWE main roster, I think Trick Williams is going to have to get the one over on him so he can take that claim into the next level of NXT and be a big dog there. So I'm going to go with Trick Williams. Joe Gacy, Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears being very big back in WWE, very new, and the name Shawn Spears not being huge in WWE, being that was his indie and AEW name, I think if they're gonna push him, they're gonna make him win. But I would prefer to have Joe Gacy, the guy who's been dogging for you for a very long time, who looks like he's been getting the crap beat out of him and beat up and bullied by Shawn Spears. I would like to see him come on top. I'm gonna go with Joe Gacy. I love Joe Gacy. I am kind of annoyed that he doesn't have his faction anymore. It is what it is. We'll see. Okay, then we're going on a trios match. Fallon, Thea, Kalali. I always get her name wrong. Then JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame. So right here, I'm going to go with JC Jane because they are really pushing her. And I'm hoping that there's a big JC like feud coming up for a title or something. I would love to see that, being that they were a massive tag team and you saw her turn on her and all the whole thing. I would love to see that. So I would like this trio to win. I know the fall of Chase U is kind of annoying, but we'll see. So I'm going to go with JC's tag team, trios team. Then we go into the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Axiom and Nathan Frazier have been on a streak, so I would love to see them win, especially because Braun Breaker obviously has been introduced into the main roster, and Baron Corbin being a guy who's already been on the main roster, who went back to NXT to get some heat on him so he can come back. I would like to see them go to, because we'll talk about it later, but it looks like the tag team division in WWE is going to heat up soon. So I would love to see them transition there. So if that means having to get the win, I want it, but I would love to see Axiom and Nathan Frazier win this. But what do I think is going to happen? I think Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker are going to win. And then they're going to have to give up the tag team. Yeah, I don't see them going to the main roster on a loss. Okay. NXT North American Championship. Oba, D-Jack, Josh Briggs. I'm going to go with D-Jack. I don't think Oba's going to retain. Women's NXT Championship, Laura Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez is going to win. I think the build-up has kind of been leaning in that direction. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, NXT Championship match, Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo. I'm going to go with Ilya retaining. I don't think he's ready for the main roster. I would love to see him on the main roster. I don't think he's going there. I think he's going to have a very long-lasting, strong reign. Okay, with that being said, guys, we will go on to WrestleMania, the main event here of the 3 pay-per-views happening in WWE. Ring of Honor had their pay-per-view last night, which is crazy. Shout out to Mark Briscoe. And we're going to go in. Okay, so night 1, I have all the major cards right here, all the major stuff. We're going to go with night 1. I'm going to start bottom up. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. This has been long-term story building. Dragon Lee coming in from AEW and CMLL and AAA, coming in there, coming to NXT, not really building that much heat on himself, doing some good matches, and then that connection with Rey Mysterio to pull him up has been great. Santos Escobar story with the LWO leaving and now aligning with Dominic. That's really cool. What this means for the future of the other faction that we'll talk about a lot more. I just think that this can go. There's new stories either way this wins. I think Dominic and Santos Escobar are going to win. I think we're going to go with that. All right. Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. I think Damage Control loses. Because there's no title on the line, they can lose. Being that it's Dakota Kai's first match back from injury, she can lose and it's completely written off. I think with these big dogs, these 3 massive names, Jade Cargill being brand new into the company, and the other 2 being carriers, Naomi bouncing back and forth between companies, I think they're going to win. Okay, boom. 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Everyone's talking about it. We think that the tag teams are going to be split. Raw and SmackDown are going to go back to where they belong. That means 2 possible tag teams winning. You have Judgment Day, which is Damian Priest and Finn Balor, R-Truth and The Miz, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Wood, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and then Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, which are all tag teams that have been really pushed and have been getting lots of great matches lately. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor was incredible at the last pay-per-view. It's hard because a lot of people are picking. So a lot of people want R-Truth and Miz to walk away with the championship. And a lot of people want, and then it's just kind of split at that point. Who else gets the other championship? I have a theory. I'm going to go with, so I'm going to predict who they picked, right? But who I want to win is I want, DIY, and I want Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I want those guys to walk away with championships. But what I think they're going to do is Miz and R-Truth, Awesome Truth, and I think Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I just think those are the guys with the most heat on them right now, the most burn. It would be the best. Obviously, you don't need Kofi and Xavier. Don't need shit. They have way too much shit. Yeah. And then we move on to Jay versus Jimmy Uso. I'm going with Jay Uso. That's just simple. I don't got to explain it. Are there people going to get involved in this? I hope so. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I'm going with Sami Zayn. Not going to talk about that. I'm going to see how it plays out. I just want Gunther's reign to be over at this point. I don't like long-term's cool. Long-term storytelling is cool, but long-term championships like this, where no one's even close, that's annoying. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. It's a hard choice, dude. I'm going to go with Because at this point, if Becky can't beat her, who's going to beat her? Who can beat her? Unless you wait for Charlotte Flair to be healthy and she takes it back. That's the only thing I can think of. So I'm going to go with Becky Lynch winning, even though I love Rhea. Okay. The Rock, Reigns, versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So I think the stipulation is if The Rock and Roman lose and there's no intervening or something, it's not, or if they win, it's Judgment Day, it's Bloodline rules or something. So I think that they're going to win because of that to enable those rules, but I want Cody and Seth to win. Then night 2, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament, a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. Those guys, so it's Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is going to come across. This story that they've been building with him is wild. So I think Karrion Kross is what's it called? Final Testament. I think they're going to win. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I think I'm going to go with LA Knight. I think that's going to be this final push. If he could take out AJ Styles after this feud, I think he can really walk away as a big name. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens for the United States triple threat match. Lots of ways this can go. I'm going to go with Logan winning, because that would establish him as a big name. I think he'll get the pin on Owens. I don't think he'll pin Randy Orton. But it will set him up for something bigger. Other way, does Randy need a United States Championship? I loved Kevin Owens' reign as United States Championship, but he doesn't need it. Neither of those guys need championships. Logan needs this championship and a win over these big names to establish him and prove everybody else wrong. Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. I'm going Bayley. That's not even a close one. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. We're going Drew McIntyre. I think it's time. I think it's going to happen. And then Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. A lot of words. Let's just say finish the fucking story. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, is winning, hands down. We're setting up storylines. When Punk's back, we're going to get some Punk stuff going on. I am excited, guys. Get in the comments. Let me know how, what your predictions are, how the matches are going as you watch them today and tonight and tomorrow night. With that being said, guys, remember, check out the channel. Drop a comment. This is The Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest tasty. Check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. All The Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more. I would like you guys to do me a massive favor and stay lame.